get the tank down now. Oh, he's driven straight into the tank. He's driven straight. Oh, no! Oh, Peter Permigosevic will. Permigosevic Ushevibili. This is brutal.
This is against the Geneva Convention, I think.
Just trying to crash into him.
He's just knocking the tank around.
Tank, we need to kill the tanker.
Oh, holy. Oh my god.
Qui la s'achète, et ben non, Kiki. Bon ben l'enfoiré, il a dit non. Et là, coup de pelle pour essayer de le terminer.
Is there nobody who can stop DC? Oh, no. You're not getting.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. And welcome to this seasonal match broadcast. We have FOC versus Syndicate on deck this morning on SMDM. This is Wix that you hear right now. If you've watched my streams before, you know I like to invite on some friends, colleagues, and the like to join me on these streams. And I like to start off usually by going through who we got with us today. And we really have a full broadcaster's booth today, not a whole lot of room here today. There's 4 of us in total. I decided this week that I wanted to make sure that everybody understood exactly kind of where everybody was coming from. And so in addition to like listing their Hell Let Loose experience and maybe some funny fact about them, I wanted to make sure that it was crystal clear, 100% clear for everybody out here viewing, who they were listening to, right? So I decided that I would categorize us all. I mean, I thought no better way than to categorize us all by our boy band archetypes. And so here you see on the left, Wix, of course, the bad boy. No other way to put it, like the heartthrob, the guy that, the ladies love, but they don't really know if they should and all that. But, that's, you guys know me. Also with me today, we have TT, my TL teammate. He's the hot one, right? Like, he's an idiot, but he's hot, so he's here. Unfortunately, not on Facecam. I don't know if he's actually here because he's making lunch. TT, how you doing?
I'm doing good.
Also with us again, returning now, Smithers, the mature big brother type, right? How you doing, Smithers?
I'm doing great. Wix, doing great.
So, sorry, I forgot about their little bio here. So TT commands, plays defense, right? He is the leader of the Fearless Few, known as Void. And powered by Haggis and Tennants. You like Tennants, TT?
Unfortunately, I don't drink.
Okay, he's not old enough yet. Back to Smithers, Logi Whammo defense. Smithers perpetually cockblocked by City on Artie, and also Smithers of the maximum mouse sensitivity. He goes for flicks, man. What can I tell you? Like, he's not setting up his mouse for long range shots, dude. He's trying to 540, flick on some kids. So, he's maximum sensitivity. And the last one, of course, the funny one, the Lewis Tomlinson, if you will, of the streaming group today, from the rival gang, the Crosstown Gang, ESPT, Clownface. How you doing?
Hey, thanks. I'm happy to be here, and I will say I have been on the end of some of those nasty Smithers flicks.
Well, I'm
Good to hear
sure if Smithers is on the back lines on defense and you're on a useless flank in locked territory, I can see how you would come across each other. That was Excel, by the way. I asked him for a superlative to give, and he's like, I don't know. We always just rip on him for being in the middle of nowhere for no reason. We have Flig
Sounds
for
accurate.
that. We have Flig for that. So I guess he would be the funny one of TL if we were to do the carry on the boy band archetype. So that's who we got here with us today. I want to talk a little bit about the format. Let me check real quick, and I just want to make sure that we're not already starting here. Yeah, there's still a few players left, so I want to talk about the format. We're looking at Group A right now, which is where this game is from. Fox Syndicate, you see it in the middle there. Later today, you're going to see three of us, me, TT, and Smithers, in WTHTL. That'll be about 5-6 hours from now. And IR Cerberus as well in the lower bracket. So a couple other good games in Group A. If we move on to Group B, where we've already had one game, Greyhounds DC in the upper bracket. ESPT GBI played last night. Spoiler alert, ESPT won. That was on Omaha Beach. And Refuse Circle will be playing later today as well, or right around this time, actually, I believe. Which of these games are you guys looking forward to? Smithers, we'll start with you. Is there a game here that you think people need to watch, or that you're looking forward to watching, or that you're interested in the outcome of?
I'm looking forward to the rematch of Greyhounds versus DC. I think that'd be a good one going back from last year, right? So kind of curious who will get the edge this year.
Yeah, I think that's a rematch of the seasonal final from last year, right? Or last seasonal.
Yeah, sure is. Greyhounds and DC fought on Utah Beach, if I remember correctly. So
cool. Clownface, what about you? I mean, you played in that ESPT GBI game. You were wrongly accused of killing artillery. I'm sorry about that. I was on that stream, and it was called out that you had killed artillery, but it was in fact Butters. It was Butters from ESPT that killed killed the GBI's Artie. Got 10 of his own guys killed, including, as I understand, and maybe you can confirm this, an entire tank was killed by the HLL utility in punishment for that. Is that accurate?
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. We had lost an entire tanker. That was super unfortunate that happened, because that really slowed down our push. But that was, yeah. I'm looking forward to actually your guys' game, WTHTL. That's going to be a key game to watch. TL on the up and up. So it'll be good to see how y'all face a behemoth like WTH.
All right, TT, what do you think? What game are you going to be watching later?
I mean, I've got to go with Smithers here. I think Greyhounds DC is going to be the one to watch, but in all honesty, all three matches are going to be equally as interesting.
Yeah, and just going back to the upper bracket, one of the ones that I think is going to be interesting is going to be IR Cerberus too. I mean, I think both of those teams are maybe a little bit more, I would say, like a little less known. IR because they're a Chinese team, and for us in North America, you don't always know the players the same, or who left and who joined and stuff. But they've been on a really good run of late. They obviously lost to WTH, which you'd expect almost all teams would. So that's not really a knock on them. And then Cerberus is another one. At least I don't know a lot about. Maybe in Europe they know, but they know more. But I know they got some of the former, infamous people that joined, and they've looked pretty strong as well. Obviously, Cerberus knocked out Chimera last week. So I think that's going to be a good one. Kind of a couple teams that, at least for me personally, I don't know a ton about, but they both look good, and it'll be curious to see which one of those moves on. So we're still waiting in the server here for the map flip. Let me check the number of players. It could be any minute now. We're at 50:48. So while we're doing that, I want to pull up the map real quick we're going to be on, because currently it's the server sitting on SMDM, so I can't really fly around and look at it, but I kind of wanted to give people an introduction here to what we're going to be looking at when it comes to the map here. So we're on SMDM. I think for everybody, it's a familiar map. You see it a lot in competitive. Not a whole lot of secrets, I think, on this map. It's fair to say. I want to kind of go through the points real quick. I'll ask each one of you. You can use the bullet points I have, or you can talk. I know you guys all know. You guys all have command experience, so you know the key areas. So I'm going to start with TT here. I'm going to put TT on the spot to talk about dugout. What do you think about dugout as a point? What are the important areas, and what does it mean for allies and Axis?
So for dugout, I think the hill and 5 points is going to be extremely key for both sides. Depending on the allies' 4th point as well, whether it's cattle sheds or I believe that left one is something. Gardens is going to be very important for the Axis and the allies to hold, obviously. On the west side here, it's just one long lane and just open fields all around, so I just think holding that is going to be very important for the map control of both teams. RA is going to be very important here for both sides, as the Axis will have a very strong advantage on this point, so allies is going to need to be very on point with their arty here. Other than that, I think that's it.
So AA Network, our middle point here. We'll go Smithers for AA Network.
Yeah, so for AA, as we talk about the left side, it goes back to that 5 points control, right? And pushing up towards the hockey sticks and eventually to gardens. So if the allies are able to capture gardens, and that'll solidify a massive portion of the point for them, right? Then on the right side, of course, you have Pierre's. And so for FOC, it's going to be about figuring out how much resources dedicate to controlling that Pierre's farm roof, right? And keeping that MG off of there and keeping that MG from spraying the crap out of AA. And so it's a very wide point, obviously, because you pretty much got to play the entire map and not let Syndicate slip through on the left side, the right side. So it's going to be, it's going to be interesting to see how much FOC dedicates towards 5 points, or maybe just going straight into the circle there. So, and of course, can't forget the truck snipe. Let's see if Syndicate takes a truck snipe here, or the route through SMDM.
Yeah, so that's a big consideration, I know, on Pierre's Farm, which is my personal favorite on this map. Clownface, what do you think about Pierre's Farm?
Pierre's Farm, it's a good one. Flanked by 2 huge open fields. It's a great time. Usually have to go around Pierre's Farm to actually get pressure onto Pierre's Farm, either by Pizza Slice, Map Edge East, or working your way through a network to the west. I mean, Artie usually locks down like the main road along with tanks, and infantry kind of just plays on the flanks. So it's gonna be a grind fest on Pierre's. Axis definitely have the advantage on that point. So we'll see. We'll see who wins mid cap, but I'm leaning towards the Axis side.
You think Axis cap first?
Yeah, I think Axis cap first.
Okay. Yeah, so I think really one of the stories on SMDM, one of the reasons why you see it come up so much, I think, really, like, there's clear advantages on some of the points for sure, but it's a relatively balanced map, I think. Just to kind of tie over the overall bit of it. I mean, it's got great angles and great locations for tanks to play. It's not like one of those maps that is great for tanks. It's also extremely unforgiving for infantry. I mean, it's a hedgerow map. For sure, you deal with some of that. There's a little bit of high ground that comes into play, which makes it interesting. You know, there's a little bit of city play that comes in to make it interesting. SMDM really one of the maps that kind of has a little something for everybody, I feel like, and that's what makes it really a popular map, I think, in normal pub play and a common map that you see as well in competitive. With that being said, I'm going to pull us over. That's all I've got really for the pregame, and we're still waiting for the flip. So I am going to bring this over to the server here where we're sitting in SMDM. And this reminds me that I'm not streaming to you guys yet, so let me take care of that so you guys can see. Let me know if there's any problem with that. So now we're just here waiting for the flip. I saw in the match channel, it looks like a couple FOC players have had trouble. So we're sitting at 50-49. It should be 50-50 because there is a streamer. 7 is streaming on the other side. So any minute now we should be seeing a flip. Let me just check on the latest.
Looking like Syndicate's going to have a little bit of a ping advantage on this one.
Oh, yeah. Did they get... doesn't look like a middle ground server.
It's a Greyhound server. That they're playing on. So when we played FOC last week, we were on a Cerberus server, so it would have been Germany as well. And I think we saw the same thing. I mean, Syndicate has some European players you can see that are sitting here in the 60s and 40s, so that's a big advantage for them. And then, of course, their North American contingent is going to be anywhere from 100 to, I don't know, like 200. I know Prank is West Coast US, so that's kind of like worst case for them. And then on FOC, yeah, it's like 160 to 200, a little bit over 200. So, I mean, the big advantage here, I guess, is going to be for Syndicate's European players who are going to be playing on a very close server. Whereas, you know, FOC has, I think Yamamoto lives in Germany. He's their commander normally. So he'll probably have, yeah, he's sitting on 48. So he's going to be the one guy that's going to have any kind of advantage there. He's actually really probably one of the best in the server, it looks like. So, yeah,
They were just 100, so it looks like they lost another one.
Yeah, I think he got in and they said game crashed. I'm just kind of watching the channel now, so they're they're having the normal issues that you see. So we'll just stand by. I haven't asked yet, so we'll use this time. I mean, what do you guys think as far as the outcome of this match? What do you expect to see? You know, 5-0 one way or the other, a 3-2, somewhere in between. We'll go kind of the opposite direction I went last time and start with Clownface. Like, what do you think? What is your prediction for the outcome?
I think it's going to be heavily midpoint dependent. You know, I think AA is like probably the most neutral midpoint. So I think if FOC captures the midpoint, I mean, I can see them going like all the way, but Sin maybe captures midpoint. Maybe they hold out for like the 3-2 win.
All right, and I think Smithers should be next then. What do you think as far as outcome?
Yeah, I'm going to go with 3-2 as well. And then, of course, as we talked about last time with FOC, it's going to be the armor that determines if they're able to push farther, right? And if we remember the game against Refuse, FOC was able to get that very, very key backline Gary. So, and to wipe out pretty much Refuse's entire frontline push on the east side of the map. So going to be very interesting to see if Syndicate's able to control those gaps in their line and not let FOC slip through and potentially wipe out a big push that they have. So, but yeah, going with 3-2.
3-2 for FOC.
3-2 for FOC, yeah.
I want to make sure I get you on record. TT, what do you think?
So I think personally Syndicate has been doing very well recently, although they've been racking up the losses as well. I mean, 3-2 versus WTH, 3-2 ETL, there's nothing to be sad about. FOC, we all know they like to do their last 10-minute pushes, so I think Syndicate is going to need to be very careful about that, but depending on the point, of course, as Clownface said. But I'm going to have to go for a 3-2 FOC win, yeah.
Yeah, and just for my part too, I think, I think that Syndicate has been. I agree that they've been looking really strong lately. It hasn't always translated into wins, but they have been looking really strong. And really, I think too another not to drag them, but I think like in last season, a lot of people were looking at FOC as like this juggernaut, and they had a really strong run, right? They beat Infamous, they made it to the Final Four of season. I don't really seemed a little bit, guess. I said I wasn't gonna bring any spicy takes for that stream, and I picked ESPT to win, which was, I think, that was the solid money pick there. I'll tell you what, it's a new day today. They have Axis, they have a little bit of advantage. I am going to pick a Syndicate win today by 3-2 margin over FOC, and I'm going to pick our North American friends to move on to the next round. And for last seasonal's Cinderella team FOC to really go home a little bit early than people probably expected. I think it's going to be a good game. I think both teams can win, but I think today is going to be Syndicate's day. We'll see what happens though.
Yeah, I think it go to any team here. I mean, if Syndicate cap first, I think they'll hold for at least 80 minutes. But as I said, they do need to be careful about that final push that FOC likes to do.
Yeah, as we saw last week in our game against them, they can really coordinate those last 10 minutes of the game and really just turn average map control into really good map control. So it's going to be really exciting to watch the last 10, 15 minutes if FOC is down 2-3.
Yeah, I think the game will be entertaining all the way through. Both these teams are both these teams on elimination right now?
Yes, this is an elimination match.
Yeah, so stakes are high.
Yeah, and I said it yesterday too, in the lead up to ESPT GBI. I mean, if you've been saving strats, if you've had a snipe or something, or if you've had some kind of angle on a map or in the game, right? Like if anything, and I think that makes these games interesting is that you're going to see probably the maximum level of preparation for each team. For sure, every match has a lot of preparation into it, but if you're ever going to do it to the maximum degree, it's got to be when your back's against the wall. So I think that makes these games really, really interesting. It made for an interesting match yesterday as GBI kind of went for a non-typical map and kind of shot their shot that way. Didn't work out in the end for them, but here we're gonna see what the best that these teams have, and I think that makes it exciting.
I'm looking forward to the any rocket snipes on opener. Those are always fun to see. I know GBI's really good at those, and was it, I don't know, one of the other games like DC maybe also use rocket snipes pretty effectively. So I think that's gonna be also key on opener.
Yeah, then if anybody saw the last week's game, I think IR versus WTH, if I remember correctly. But IR had that opening, or the Katusha sort of rocket snipe that they had on the enemy Sherman, if you guys remember, on SME. And I'm curious to see if that's going to be brought out this week, because a lot of these tank spots in the maps are, well known, right? Especially SMDM, as far as opening mediums where they should be, right? So kind of curious if Syndicate has planned any pre-timed rocket snipes on enemy tanks. I think IR fired gosh, maybe 6 or 7 Panzerschreck rockets at the medium and SME last week.
Yeah, I think that's kind of become the meta a little bit now. Is people have kind of found out that you can sit and try to find an angle for a snipe with a tank or something. But really, rocket snipes are universal, right? Like, you can shoot at 950 meters if you're Axis. And so it's like real easy to just pick a spot, go 950 meters west and take the shot. And then it's timing, of course, and you don't get the same blast radius, but you don't have to worry about hitting an air pocket or anything like that. So I think that's kind of where a lot of people have gone with their early game snipes, and we've seen different teams do it to different levels of success.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, especially when you have like 6, 7 people shooting rockets. I mean, time it out. I mean, cover an entire small area for like 5, 6 seconds. Anything's gonna get blown up.
So as you guys see here, we're 10 seconds to map flip. We're live on flip. We ended up with 50v50s here, so FOC ended up getting everybody a spot in the internet cafe. Here we go. See the map layout. I gotta focus on joining the squad. We have AA network. That'll be interesting. I gotta find heir apparent. Probably an armor squad.
All right, I like the point layout. Should be a very heavy battle over mid. 2 points that are 2 fourth points that are very, very hard to take.
Yeah, as soon as you see SMDM as the axis full with you, just know it's going to be a 3-2 grind, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
That's a heartbreaker to see his allies.
Okay, I think I have everything set up. One more thing.
But yeah, expect this match to go map edge to map edge for sure.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
I think I got everything for the stream set up. So we'll take a look now at the map here. Don't worry about the kill stuff on the side. That stuff will sort itself out when everything gets going. But yeah, we got AA network in the center on the Axis side, SMDM and fields. So that's good for Syndicate. It's going to be real hard for them to lose SMDM. Going the other way, we really have a cross map middle here. So Breakcore Battery to Grand Shamin. So sorry, Smithers, you were talking. What do you think about this layout?
Oh, it's very interesting, right? Because it's going to be a 90-minute 3-2 grind. Breakcore battery is extremely hard to take, and so is SMDM. So it's all going to be about Syndicate controlling their lines, not letting FOC players slip through, get those backline Garys up. And then for FOC, I imagine they're going to have MGs on the roofs and watching all those open fields and not letting Syndicate slip through, right? So should be a good one.
So I do want to do a quick tally here of what we got going on here. It looks like, is that just one supply truck, or is there one supply truck? I see two Luxes coming out. We got the recon tank. The medium's still sitting at spawn. I'm not sure what that has going on.
Could be a tank snipe.
Could be, for sure. I want to fly to the north here and kind of look and see what we have on the Fox side lined up here. They usually will go with a double light opening, which we do see here. The medium Sherman on the main road going right by cattle sheds, a couple Stewarts. Transport trucks we expect. The Greyhound we expect. One supply truck. I don't think... Oh, there is a second supply truck over here for FOC. So the medium is sitting with one person, and they're not in the gun. So here we go. FOC Syndicate. Loser goes home. I'm going to just try to follow the Syndicate side here up the road here and see what Syndicate has in terms of snipes for him. We see some rockets going out for FOC. That looks like it's hitting way too far up for where their trucks could possibly be. But that also looks like it just launched off the back of a truck, so that's not really as serious. We see one coming in on the hedgerow here that missed.
Is that Syndicate tank still in the... Okay, he moves up a little bit. Okay.
Ooh, we saw a guy... Oh, there's a truck went down. I think a lot of people had gotten out. But that was a tank shot, I think.
Maybe that's the medium.
Medium is still driving up with somebody in the driver's seat, so I don't think that the medium's doing anything special right now. We'll just kind of do a flip around here. That was the 5 points truck for FOC. A couple squad leaders did get out, so they're not completely missing everybody there, but it does look like Syndicate is strong to the cap.
Yeah, they got a healthy amount of players in strong point. Looks like FOC does have at least one OP on the north side, in that small trench. So they're trying to battle in, but looks like they're getting locked down by Artie.
Just a truck going down below us there. So I see the Sherman kind of by the house north of AA network. That's right there. We call Carrot Farm. Don't see the Panzer IV yet. I see a Luke's right here next to 5 points. This looks like there's a Luke's on hard cap right there in the middle. Got a Stewart on the hill by 5 points.
FOC is
sure where the other Stewart is.
Yeah, it looks like FOC is about to really put some pressure on 5 points there.
Yeah, they have hill control. Makes it real easy to kind of pinch in, help that north side come in to 5 points.
Yeah, I think kind of what we're seeing is that FOC truck went down, so they were a little slow on the 5 points, but now those squad leaders have respawned off the Garys, the infantry have spawned on other OPs, and now they're kind of strong in the area. And look at the hard point. I mean, we saw Syndicate really early flooding those trenches, and now they're not in there, so we see the cap weight teetering back and forth a little bit.
Where are the FOC Stewards?
One of them's right here on the hill. I'm not sure where... Oh, the other one is right on the behind the trench right there.
Oh, and he's blasting into 5 points.
Yeah, he's shooting sideways, yeah. Looking into 5 points.
Good angle.
We haven't seen the mediums cross paths yet. The Sherman right below us here. The Panzer IV is on this road. Right here. Is that him or is that a Puma? That's a Puma. Or no, it is a Panzer IV. Sorry, I don't know where.
And it's a full tanker now, looks like.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm kind of curious what happened there, but yeah, it's a full crew now. Looks like Syndicate is kind of taking over control here a little bit.
It's a good, healthy battle for middle, though. You want to do a quick map check, Rix? See what
We can look at the map real quick. We can see, at least from our side, the Syndicate tanks, the Lukes, the 2 Lukes, the one at 5 points, one's, sorry, that's the Panzer IV South, one on the hard cap. Not sure where the recon takes one. We got this AT gun set up way on the side. Maybe looking to shoot this medium that's up here. In the pretty standard Gary network.
Heavy OP focus on the network. Looks like they went all in on mid cap.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep, and there you go. The cap went in favor of Syndicate. Let me update the scoreboard real quick. Do that right. Yep. So, yeah, I mean, it's a good start for Syndicate. I think they got the one truck, we'll call it a partial snipe, and I think that definitely slowed FOC down at 5 points. And then they were just able to kind of get first initiative on the hard cap And there you go. We do see cap progress already coming back, though, so this could be very, very tenuous grip here.
FOC with complete control of 5-way here at the moment.
I don't know if it was 8. This medium did go down. Could Panzer IV. Maybe a combination, because there's that AT gun is right there. Maybe had an angle. Wonder if that was just based on information from a previous FOC match, and they tailor-made the AT gun for that medium spot. But the medium's down. The Panzer IV is still alive. That's going to make it difficult to really exert too much pressure for FOC until they start to get their Tigers, their Shermans in.
Well, now with the medium down, the Panzer IV can really flex its muscles, not being able to be penetrated by the front or side by bazookas. So we'll see if they roll in.
Yeah, I think you do see he has moved up a little bit since the Sherman has died into a more aggressive position. Just switched right to HE and started blasting infantry. He could even decide to start hunting those Stuarts if looks like only one Stuart's left if he thought it was necessary.
Yeah, this battle for mid is really good. I mean, there's equal ground so far. Syndicate just capped just because they have a little bit more strong point control.
Yeah, but FOC's getting in. Look,
Yeah.
they're in AA.
That's the thing I think that makes the center midpoints a little bit more interesting is well, at least AA network, I guess, compared to the other ones. Maybe it's not all center midpoints, but it just, when you don't have the map edge to kind of push against, I feel like you have a lot more freedom around the point, and it makes it just a much less secure to defend and much more open to attack. I mean, AA network is like that for sure compared to like Pierre's and Dugout, where they can get very laney, I guess I would say. There's like certain attack lanes you have to use, and if you shut those down, then it becomes real boring. But AA network, I think we're going to see a scrap on the hard point all game long.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious to see if FOC loads up those OPs on 5 points now and tries to wrap AA. They got total dominance over there.
I'm looking at this east side, and you see people moving around it, but literally nobody moving to the wheat field. I mean, TT, I want to ask you about this specifically, I guess. Is there anything you can do at this wheat field? I mean, is this just... It's a big, wide open space right now. We see one guy going into it, but, is there anything anybody should be doing here, or is kind of holding the hedges on each side, just the extent of what you can do with it?
I mean, I think it's just key to hold, really. You can't really push through it as good as you can down just the middle lane or 5-way here. So, Sin really needs to start maybe having an MG watching that or something. I mean, FOC aren't putting too much effort into pushing through it anyway, so...
I think sometimes a hero play can be made in the wheat field. It's going to take some time, but if an SL can take a couple minutes, crawl his way through, plays can be made in the wheat, even though they are brutal sometimes.
Yeah, I think we see quite a bit of that. Just people crawling through it, trying to get something done.
Our first bombing run coming in here. This will be a FOC bombing or Syndicate bombing run. Trying to clear out 5-way. I think that's not a bad use of a bombing run. That was an area that FOC had good control over, but I mean, they don't have a garrison there, so they're all just going to respawn in about 10 seconds.
Yeah, it's a big commitment to FOC. I mean, look at this. Look how many guys are over here. What is that? Almost 10 guys around the 5-point area. And they do not want to let that go.
Yeah, it's really the one bit where they have been able to maintain success. I mean, we saw, a minute ago, Clown mentioned it, that they had made it into the hard point here, but that has since been repelled. Really, 5-way is the one place that they really have around the point that kind of starts to check off. I talk about this before, at other streams. You start to check off the list of places you need to control before you're going to start to control the hard point, right? 5-way is a big one, big part of that. and they certainly are dedicating resources there. From the 76 here, I'm not sure if he, maybe we, I don't think we missed the first Tiger, but exposed position for him to just sit in unless they have information as to where the Tiger is.
See you want to pull up the map and find the Tiger?
Yeah, he's on this back road right here. So maybe not able to view him yet, but you can see damage. That's the Tiger right there. You can kind of see through all of this. There's the Panzer IV there, and you also see the AT gun coming in from Warner Brothers here, which was something that we something that when we played Syndicate on SMDM a couple weeks ago, we dealt with AT guns on that hill all game long, and Syndicate known for their use of AT guns. So that's not going to change. And you see also an AT gun shot coming in from the map edge too. So this one here coming into play again, not hitting quite yet, but man, that's got to be rough with that tank where you're taking AT gun shots from multiple directions, and there you go. You see it go down.
Yeah, it's very good AT gun play there from Syndicate.
And they have a defense squad over here too, not letting that AT gun go down. Smart.
Yeah, Kydex on the AT gun. That one strikes me as a baby burn special. If somebody else came up with that idea for that AT gun spot, then I apologize, but that looked like a baby burn special.
Sure did, Wick. Sure did.
So there you go. I mean, the first heavy goes down before the Tiger even gets to the fight. I mean, that's great. It's going to start the armor advantage for Syndicate, which when you hold middle, I mean, that's big. You hold midpoint, you get armor advantage.
And the P4 still up, right?
Yeah, Panzer IV is still up. Cruising around here, they got to be getting starting to get low on ammo, I think. Surprised we haven't seen it, especially now. It could probably take a pretty aggressive position again, knowing that the first Tiger is down. First 76 is down. Could be another one coming up in a couple minutes for sure, but looks like maybe that's what we're seeing here. Maybe he's going to go try to help clear out 5-way here.
Yeah, it's pretty textbook, right? Like, looks like 76 goes down, Panzer IV starts moving up to try to help its infantry. Because I mean, as allies, I mean, once this tank gets on the road here, I mean, it's pretty hard to deal with that from the just head on. You really need tank support to help you out.
Yeah, we should see a Sherman somewhere again. The respawn after the default went down should be up as well, and I think we're probably at a point where, yeah, a second Tiger has been spawned for Syndicate, so that means that there's a 76 for FOC likely to be coming out too, although I do want to take a quick look. I don't want to spend too much time here, but
it looks like Syndicate has a Puma here.
We got a cheeky little Puma play here. So I don't see they might be looking for the 76 to be coming out of mid. I don't see it if it is in this area. But I'm guessing that's what they're looking for, is maybe the second 76 coming out. There's a supply truck back here. Looks like the... But yeah, no second 76 yet, or it's already gone. But
yeah, the Puma in the back line is really powerful in my opinion. For any recon vehicle, you're getting a lot of information. Finding that next tank, as well as potentially sniping a truck, like a supply truck from the commander or something. A lot of good work the Puma can put in.
We did find the second 76. It seems like since the shot just went over the top of it that they know where it is. I'm going to turn this around so we can see what the 76 is doing. Is the Puma going to go for it? Yes, he is.
Oh man, here we go.
So here's the thing: if the Tiger, or an AT gun, gets a hit on this, 76 gets information or a spotter saw it, so he flips around. Good. It had to have been the spotter, right?
Yeah, that was definitely the spot. I think that Puma needed to go up that road instead of cutting into the open field, but maybe they didn't have the information in the 76 yet.
Yeah. Good play by the spotter to catch that out. I mean, probably not likely to die to just the Puma. I mean, most good crews are able to kind of handle that, but if you take a hit from a Tiger or something, you know, you're one hit to a Puma, so that makes you really vulnerable if they could have timed that right. But spotter caught it, and a good spin and a good shot.
Yeah, for sure. And it's crazy how FOC had total 5 points control earlier, and it looked like they were going to wrap, but that Panzer IV pushed up, I think, and helped wipe out a few OPs, and now Syndicate has complete control over there, so they're just pushing up to the hockey sticks.
It does seem like that Panzer IV made a difference because it was solid red, and then we went away for a little bit. The Panzer IV pushed up, and now it's in Syndicate control. I don't know if these tanks are aware. The old mid-game medium versus medium fight here. Or the Panzer IV pushes up too far, the 76 will catch him.
Yeah, it can be challenging as the Axis side. You know, pressing this hill can be difficult. I feel like the Allies can have a little bit stronger position on this, the bottom of the hill. A lot more freedom to play. Big use of smoke here. And Fox trying to close down these angles. I love some smoke.
I mean, it's one of the only things you can do when there's a tank just sitting there shooting into the trench to try to help you maneuver around it. I mean, it's we've mentioned it before. It's one of the issues with Allies side is, you know, the medium tanks even can be extremely difficult for infantry and from the back. It looks like medium did take a shot. Had to have been from the 76.
Yeah.
But it looks like it was turret, though. So now the Sherman's kind of activating a little bit.
I mean, Wix, you probably know more about this, but it always amazes me, like, some of these tank engagements happening over, like, you know, hundreds and hundreds of meters. Like, you know, how does that work as a tanker?
I mean, you, especially on a map like SMDM, like you're gonna know that if there's a tank there, you know, where you can look at it from, and a lot of times it's got to be longer angles because you're not going to get close to that tank back there. So if you want to take out that tank, you got to be capable of finding an angle that's going to get it done at, you know, 600, 700, 800 meters potentially. So it just becomes kind of a reality of life, right? You're not going to see a lot of close engagements. Looks like this Panzer IV is going to get satcheled on the tracks there, so I'm
Big
sure
play.
yeah, it's a good play for sure. At the same time, I'm sure that now. Anyway,
Is there a garrison at 5 points?
there is. See,
Wait,
there's
it's a
not
little
one
too far
east
away.
side right now, though. I mean, I know there's no good spots, but sometimes around here or even in the wheat field, you'll see them. They do have one south. Panzer IV did explode as expected. Whatever.
Yeah, definitely favoring that west side for garrisons, looks like.
Yeah, looks like Syndicate's pushing a Lux up there, actually.
Let's take a look over here and see what's going on, because it does seem like maybe the it shifted a little bit over here to some pressure on Breakcore. They're going to see this map edge garrison go down right below us to this Luke's, if they can find a way. Scotland still holding on to the old Goff tag, not willing to let the past go.
It looks like FOC has had to dedicate maybe eight or nine guys back here.
We got the kind of classic map edge garrison here for Axis, and now they've taken down the FOC map edge, Gary, so they can start to leak along the hedgerow, along this wall. It's not a not your favorite avenue for attacking, but it does offer some cover. If you can get to the backside of this hedge, for example, there's nobody back here that's gonna challenge you, but you got to get past the guy in the barn. You see Karl Marx and some other people with crossfires across the field.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that the moving to the 1RD rule really kind of opens up a lot of these avenues. Back in 3RD, I mean, you could just lock down a lot of these map edge lanes with 1RD gun. But with 1RD, I mean, that 1RD usually is on like the front line, not really playing like these map edge areas. So it really allows infantry to like make these pushes that they couldn't do on the prior seasonals.
Yeah, that's a good point. You got to really focus. It's always going to be in the most important area, which is almost always going to be front door. A lot of times, or some version of whatever front door is for that point. I'm gonna check the map again real quick. I'm curious to see. Yeah, I mean, still just I would say a light group here for Syndicate pushing Breakcore right now. Not a huge emphasis on it yet, but it's a good sign that they're really pushing Breakcore, because it means that AA network here is pretty safe. We do see the 3 Tigers with the third one from the Panzer IV crew moving up. It'll be interesting to see if they start to try to move their Tigers over towards Breakcore and start to exert pressure that way.
Yeah, Syndicate has a really good Gary and OP network up right now, so they should be able to catch any FOC players that slip through, because with AA, the back line is very, very small that you can slip through as allies, right? So if any FOC players kind of get in that area, they should catch the Gary or OP lighting up. So
looks like Syndicate has broken through on the front door here, though, if we want to go over to that.
Right here at Breakcore?
No, just in front of AA.
Oh, you mean broken out, kind of the front door. Okay, let's take a look.
Getting in the trench.
Kind of same old, right below us here on 5 points. This is kind of the reality of Saint Marie du Mont here. Is 5-way to Gardens is going to be pushed back and forth, but yeah, we see straight north of the point Syndicate making it out into the carrot farm area.
Wait, what do you call carrot farm?
This area right here where this house is.
Okay.
This kind of, I don't know the exact limits. Smithers might know more, but like and generally like this square with this house.
I love learning the new names of what everyone calls everything.
That's an old Helios call out that we brought with us to TIA.
I'll try to bring that to SBT.
it's copyrighted. You can't. Sorry.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
You can call it Carrot Farm, but you can't know why it's called Carrot Farm.
I still don't know why.
We used to have, in Helios, we had a lot of like armor-specific call-outs for things. So if you did if you had like a great play or had a great game from an area, that would be your spot. So there's maps where there's a Wix's spot, or there's a Honey Badger spot, or there's, you know, whatever. Like if you had a great play, or also, but you can also get a spot named after you doing the opposite. And I'm gonna mention one of your teammates right now because it was a really funny play. There was a play on SME where Ko Nashi was filling for us, and he was gunning for Honey Badger, and they went out of the map to go on to get behind a 76 that was playing map edge with its ass facing off the map, and they drove the Panzer IV around knowing they would die, expecting to get the kill. But KO missed like 3 shots or something on the back of the 76, and they died out of bounds in the Panzer IV without killing the 76. So the road that goes north out of Hospice off the map edge at SME, that is KO's spot. In Helios tanking parlance. Now, I should say, in fairness to KO, he was at the time in South Korea, so he was playing on like 300 ping, so he was having issues with that, but That's how you can get tank spots named after you, with great displays of ability, or you just a huge fuck up. Back to the game here, and away from stories of days gone by. I mean, like, AA Network's pretty secure right now, right? Like, we don't see anybody but Monarch there in the hard cap. I mean, there's a here for some reason chilling. They can't really see anything from there, so I don't know what they're doing, but I mean, this is a pretty chill area these days, right?
Yeah, this is where it's kind of settling in right into that grind fest. And so now it's going to be about, at least for FOC, I imagine they're going to be starting to stack those heavies, playing conservatively, and slowly but surely getting ready for that push.
Yeah, I mean, this is what we usually see from them, is it not? I think they struggle a lot with map control in the early game, but always in the later matches they seem to bring it back.
This seems to be an area where they're going to want to stack their tanks here on Cattle Sheds.
Is that a Jeep on the right side of your screen there? What? Going into gardens?
There it is.
Oh my.
There's Yamamoto and a Jeep.
Yeah, those are, I think, in my opinion, underrated. I mean, you can drop so many different ammo boxes around the point.
Oh, is that what he was doing?
Yeah. Your recon team can pretty much have unlimited players going all around. So it's only the cost of, I think, 50 fuel, 80 fuel, something like that.
I think it's 80.
It's 80, yeah.
Okay.
Got Yamamoto cam here.
Look at the drip, though. He's got the white helmet.
I mean, I'm a bit confused. What exactly is the gun holding on to there on that? Is it just floating?
Yeah, it's floating. That was That was a couple updates ago. They added that, where when you don't have your primary out, it just kind of floats the primary on your back.
That's new World War II technology right there.
Probably just some duct tape. Can we do a quick map check?
Sure. So, I said it a little while ago that we're starting to see the migration of Tigers over to the west side. That's going to start to set up some pressure on the breaker, although the garrison on the map edge did go down. What do you guys see?
Yeah, I'm kind of curious. Looks like Syndicate is actually thinking about maybe, going for that 4-1. But yeah, without that Gary over there, I mean, he's not much infantry cover, but it looks like they have a pretty solid front line. And those 76s are way back in E3 area, right? So
yeah, they're playing on this hedge right here.
Are there any tank spots from over there by Dugout Wicks that they could shoot from?
That they could shoot into there?
Yeah.
You'd have to be on this hill right here on Hockey Stick Hill. That's really like the tank god spot for SMDM right here, where you can see a lot of this area.
Oh, we got a
precision
strike coming in. Wicks.
On the Allied tanks.
On the Allied tanks. By
Oh, Commander
Sorry,
Mark.
I'm trying to get my bearings. I forgot where I was.
Oh, good.
So this is a commander play. Looks like he built the red zone, walked himself, got eyes on the 76. Unfortunately, did not pan out. Just got a rep station.
Oh yeah, Craven. Yeah, unfortunate. It looks like he moved.
I think it's very hard to use the Axis P strike because of the fucking siren that it blares when it's coming down.
Yeah. The Allies one sounds very much like a strafing run. I'm not sure if it's even different at all. It sounds a lot like a strafing run.
Yeah, I think the Allied one is a lot better than the Axis one, just for that reason alone.
Yeah, P-strikes still need some work in my opinion. Very touch and go with how they connect with damage sometimes. So I mean, even a straight on P-strike can still not yield a tank kill.
Yeah, they're really buggy. I mean, I don't think it's been as bad lately, but I remember when it first came out, there was just like, you would see them. I had an American one, like bounced off the top of my tank. Like it came in and it just like ricocheted off the top of the turret somehow. It was really bizarre. And now it's like the Stuka has to hit like exactly on the top of the tank. The American one is, I thought, a little bit better. I think these days it's kind of weird how that.
Yeah, and it's pretty. I think it's exactly like how other explosions work, except for the satchel. So it's very directional based. So if the tank is like next to a wall and the bomb hits on the other side of the wall, it'll do no damage to the tank. I kind of like to see it move to like the satchel way of like just like an AOE damage propagation, but that's my 2 cents.
As a tanker, I'd rather not. I mean, fine. Like if the tanks are overpowered or something, but like it's already. I call it the 1944 smart bomb, right? Because it's basically 20 seconds and the thing goes right. It's like a laser guided bomb.
How many times do you get killed by a P-Strike? Come on.
Not many times, honestly, but it's still really frustrating because it's like, what can I do? Sure, you can always be moving, right? But that's also a way to just die to something you don't know that's out there. So, I don't mind necessarily, but I don't think it needs to be super powered because it's kind of ridiculous as it is. I'll tell you what, if we're making deals, take the stupid flares out of the game, and you can make the P-Strike a little bit stronger because the flares are stupid. It's really dumb. Here we go. We're gonna spam these magic rocket flare things into the air that work as a Call of Duty UAV, and you can do it an unlimited number of times.
Yeah, they could probably because what is it? It's 3 procs of the vision update, right? So, I think it's one in the beginning, and then a couple seconds later, and then a couple seconds later, right? So I think if they wanted to nerf it to like, one the initial bloom of the flare, I would make that trade for the P-Strike being better.
I mean, not that tanks don't benefit from flares as well. But, I mean, it looks like we lost a tiger over here already. I just think the flares are really dumb. I mean, I think the precision strike's really dumb too, but I get it. Like, it's just another tool to deal with tanks.
Oh man, the commanders need some fun. Is FOC still holding on the guards? Barely.
Just barely.
Yeah, we came over here after 5 minutes and not shit has changed.
That's the grind.
I mean, that's this part of the map, right?
Can we do a quick sweep to the Syndicate back? See if any FOC players are sitting up back here.
So we got a recon squad here by Lumber.
Yeah, it looks pretty quiet. Syndicate plugging those gaps for sure.
Yamamoto not in Yamamoto's house. In the tower.
He's
there.
busy, man, dropping ammo off.
Yeah, he's got shit to do. He's got a paper route.
He's got a paper route.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what this potentially Whammo or recon players can do on the Syndicate backline, get something going.
So Craven maintaining the garrison network here with a Fox squad leader very close.
Let's make sure this FOC guy has trigger discipline.
Yeah, it looks pretty good.
All
this
right.
guy metal.
Playing smart, playing smart.
Got his binoculars out.
This is exactly what you want to see from your backline rats.
Oh, he's spotting the tiger too. I wonder if we're going to
Nice.
see a precision on the tiger.
Yeah, he's calling it in. It takes a couple seconds. The commander's got to verify the mark and everything.
Yeah. You gotta double check, triple check.
Zoom in on the map.
They got to paint the target with infrared spotting capabilities so that the whatever it is, the P-51 or whatever it is can hit it.
Yeah.
Wait, did you just take a hit?
How we call it, like double building or something. Looks like the tank already moved back.
So now that squad lead knows that they're getting out repairs, so I wouldn't be surprised
Now's
if
the
precision comes in
time.
now.
Yeah, now's the time to call in.
Oh, one guy goes down. Is that to the FOC SL behind?
I think it was the AT guy. AT guy.
Here it comes.
Oh, yep, here it comes.
It's too late though.
Yeah, they're moving forward now.
Oh, dang.
Not OP at all. Look at that.
Oh.
Yeah, it was a good spot though. I mean, you could see
It
right
was.
where the guy died is right where the bomb landed. So they got lucky that they moved. And in that case, honestly, they would have been better off had they not killed him, because they killed him and they said, "Oh shit, we got to repair somewhere else," and then the precision strike came in. So I don't know if that was the squad leader or that AT we saw, but if they had just let him repair, they probably would have killed it there. So somebody not getting the message there that they were trying to P-strike.
Yeah, I love getting call-outs as commander. We got a tank repping at this location. You know, there's just gonna be a juicy free kill.
Yeah, that's a good way to do it when you end up in that loop of you shoot him and he backs up and repairs, and he shoots you, you back up and repair, and then it's like, all right, I'm done with this. You shoot him, back up and repair, call in the P-strike, and just rid yourself of the enemy tank.
Have we seen any FOC bombing runs?
I don't know that we have. We saw that one Syndicate bombing run early on. I think that's the only one I remember ever seeing.
Yeah, it's been pretty quiet from that regard, yeah. Looks like we got some flank pressure over there in cattle sheds.
Yeah, big breakthrough from
Yeah,
the
there's this
Syndicate team,
whammo
yeah.
garrison over here. I think people have been leaking slowly over to this area. You see they've kind of abandoned the 76 hedgerow there. Lost one of them and the other one moved off.
But once again, this is where Syndicate has so much ground to gain still, even to get to dugout cap sector. So it's going to be interesting to see where FOC is going to try to maintain their front line for that push.
Wix, as a tanker, do you tend to have your guys' tanks, you know, you think it's better to have them in one spot or kind of spread out, you know, along the front line? Because, you know, you see, we used to have some of the FOC tanks here down near cattle, but, you know, that's not near their defensive point, right? So, you know, if Syndicate did like a double tank push onto Brecourt on the west map edge, I mean, then those tanks would be out of position.
Yeah, it depends what exactly you're trying to do. There's certainly value in having tanks working, I wouldn't say necessarily near each other, but in a position to work together for kills. Which doesn't always mean they have to be near each other. They just have to be in, you know, complementary locations, basically. I mean, that's something you definitely want to have. You want to arrange your tanks so that, you know, you can hit tanks from different angles, potentially hit tanks with, you know, two different shots from different places at the same time to avoid, you know, them being able to out-repair your shots. But sometimes, you know, if you have a tank that's able to exist defensively or even offensively and just fight infantry, you know, that's certainly viable in different circumstances as well. So it's very... I mean, if you're taking on tanks, it helps to have a couple in the area or working together for sure, but, you know, a lone tank still can do a lot of damage against infantry. Looks like there's kind of a long distance, maybe pixel angle battle going on right here. I think there's been some shots ricocheted off this Tiger. He's looking for the 76 through the vegetation here.
Oh yeah, look at that angle. The pixel.
I mean, in the trees and everything, and it's like, what?
Getting out the magnifying
You
glass.
got the wooden fence. Does the hedge even render? Who knows? That was short.
Yeah, I mean, I think really the tanks really dictating this game right now, because was the medium going down early, and then the 76 going down to the AT gun, really allowing the Syndicate tankers to really gain the advantage, get that map control, help their infantry put map pressure on.
Talking about too, like we just saw the 76 over here hit this Tiger. It's unfortunate because the ones they were looking at over there didn't have a shot at the same time, but if this guy had a shot, man, he should have just sat there and waited until this guy got a hit, you know? A lot of times that's what you want to do. You gotta say, okay, hey, like I'm lined up on him. You get your shot going. Let me know if you hit him. You get the shot from there. They finally hit. They say, hey, I got turret. This guy's got a shot. And then, boom, you got a dead Tiger. But now that he's hit with no chance at getting a second shot, basically, now he knows he can't go back to that spot. So,
Does Syndicate still have that AT gun up on the far? Or did FOC take that out?
looks like it was taken down at some point.
I feel like other teams are gonna use that spot for sure going forward.
Yeah. A big commitment by FOC over here to this map edge. They really want to clear out their west side front door. They do not like Syndicate screaming in through there. Potentially could be giving up Gardens gameplay. Looks like Mick making some progress in the Gardens front door.
Yeah, Gardens is getting squeezed, it looks like.
I think it's kind of interesting how spread out this game has gotten from the early times. Obviously, in the opening cap and immediately after, people are a little bit more tight. But even for like the 10, 15 minutes after that, it's taken a long time. Where if we look at the map now, I mean, it's very spread out. It looks like the Whammo Gary got taken care of, so there's not a lot of pressure on cattle sheds anymore. But even still, I mean, you're going all the way from basically almost the red road to the edge of the map, and even before they had some people up in here as well. So we've seen you know, both teams now are stretching out. Looks like we have 4 Tigers for Syndicate here. Oh, sorry, that's a medium. It's Baby Burn solo in the Panzer IV.
It looks like Syndicate doesn't have a Gary directly behind AA anymore, so I wonder if that was commander choice to move them around, but they just got one to the southeast, it looks like, but nothing directly behind. Well, they got the Mike squad down there patrolling. So.
Yeah,
Yeah, especially.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I wonder if TT had any insight, because I know, you know, playing defense and you know, you have to manage a lot of territory with how you use your defensive players. Because I mean, like they had to clear that red zone in G3. It looks like they're sending a supply drop back in the safe spot. I mean, that can be hard to sniff out. You know, a lot of ground to cover.
Yeah, I mean, usually when I'm playing defense, I'm always playing where the line isn't. So obviously in this case it's Breakout, so that line's going to be from the west side map edge all the way to Cattle, most likely. So I would probably be playing somewhere around G3 just to prevent those Whammo garrisons coming up.
Looks like Syndicate, though, is really pushing into Gardens. I think if they get control of Gardens, that could open up the way to Breakout here.
Gardens, I think that's the best way to get into Breakcore, right? I mean, that's
100%, yeah.
Coming from the east here. So west for sure. You know, if you can get people on in these hedgerows in this building, you can crossfire into it. But in terms of actual penetration into the point, I mean, it's this road or this alley here to this hedgerow into these double houses, and then across the street and into the hard cap, right?
Yeah, that's the best way. You can get a lot of good OPs on the other side of this hedge and really push a lot of players through. You really kind of need to get control over this field, because you can see OF on map edge with MG. You know, if he's looking towards those the double buildings south of hardcap, I mean, he can really lock that down. So a lot of pieces you really need to control, like you said earlier with the checklist, in order to cap Breakout here.
Seems legit.
Physics, Wix. You gotta understand physics.
It's a lot of core strength.
Yeah. Core strength.
He's holding himself up by the barrel of his machine gun there.
But yeah, there's 42 minutes left here in this game. I mean, Syndicate making ground looks like every minute here, so this could go 4-1. We'll see.
I think if you look at it in terms of like a field position game like football, right? I think we're a lot closer to Fox end zone right now than we are to Syndicate's end zone. What I mean by that is, I think Syndicate is significantly closer to capturing Breakcore than Fox is to capturing AA Network.
I think that's a good explanation, especially for a lot of people who might not know American football.
Yeah, I think Syndicate's I think it's almost completely clear. If we do a quick flyover, Rex, I think.
Yeah, I
we just
mean,
have the
there's a spotter back here, I guess.
Yeah.
But that's really it. I mean, you see Monarch, she must be a defense SL, just kind of staying on the hard cap, probably to make sure that they know what the chevrons are and maybe maintain a hard point OP and everything like that. But beyond that, we got this. Looks like the guy that was the whammo on the west side that we saw kind of chilling. We got a little bit on the far east here. I'm not really sure.
Do you want to take a look at the state of Syndicate's map?
Sure, we can pull up the map again. People like to look at the map. You guys don't see it too, but I'll just call out the kills real quick too. Heir Apparent is leading 123 kills right now, a little over halfway through the game. Obviously on Artie. The next highest is Old Cat, who I'm assuming is the FOC Artie. If he's
Yeah,
not,
he is.
we gotta find out who that guy is. And then after that, the next highest kill is 41, which is like there's a couple FOC guys at 41, Original K at 39, and on down. And then if we want to look at deaths, Prank, 52 deaths. Really giving it us all out there.
You're still a man, Prank.
What do you guys see on the map?
It looks like Craven got himself a Jeep too, dropping off those explode boxes. So he's doing the same as Yamamoto.
Yeah, I mean, they've got plenty of fuel. They're not losing any tanks, so may as well, run around in a Jeep.
I'm taking notes personally.
It's like a commander treat right there. You get to drive around in a Jeep.
So we have reached 4 Tigers now for Syndicate. So those are all 4 Tigers. I'm not sure what happened to Baby Burns' solo medium, but he's obviously moved on to other things. But yeah, 4 Tigers there, kind of occupying the high grounds in between AA and Dugout. And 1 map edge. I mean, map edge is a good spot to push from because you got a good view of Breakcore from over here. Also might be looking to take out this kind of Tiger that's 76, that's anchoring right here.
Yeah, Tiger map edge really strong. I mean, as infantry, nothing you can do against that. So this Tiger's really helping Syndicate lock down this map edge.
I think that shot was probably just splashing for infantry, given that I don't think that 76 can see the Tiger.
Yeah, it seems like Syndicate's armor is just playing conservative, making sure they have heavies ready to go for that FOC armor push.
I mean, the way they have it set up right now, where are the armor going to push from? Where is anything going to push from? Like, they're completely boxed out. They have no control over there, so even if they don't cap Breakcore, the more you get them on their back foot, the farther they got to push.
I mean, this is what we see, though. I mean, the FOC gets pushed out like this a lot, but they always somehow manage to bring it back in the last 10-15 minutes. So I'm very interested in what's going to happen now.
How many tanks do we have up for FOC right now?
I don't have access to the map, so we'll have to go look around. Like, there's a 76 there. That's 1. That's a medium. That's a truck. That's a grand. I imagine there's another 76 around front door. Oh, here's a couple.
Okay, so at least 3.
Yeah, there's 3 here. I'm sure that's... They could have 4. I mean, I don't think we've seen a ton of tanks going down on either side. We've seen some tank engagements, but they're both kind of playing pretty conservatively, pretty safe, as you'd expect.
Yeah, as the fuel stores go up and the time starts going down, it tends to be a little bit of a, especially for FOC to make some moves with their tanks. I mean, the onus is on them, right? They're down 2-3. Syndicate, personally, like, I would love to see a big tank push, but I mean, I think they're just gonna play safe for the 3-2 win.
Yeah, elimination game like this. I don't think they're going to be too in there to take the many risks. So.
I mean, I think that's always. I mean, and you guys all have command experience that I don't have, but I just feel like that's always kind of an in-game dilemma. Is how much do you want to go for fourth versus just assuring that you hold on to third? I think that's kind of something that everybody deals with. Is this the 76 or the medium maybe that just pulled up? Yeah, that was the Greyhound even. But I think that's kind of a consistent dilemma, right? Is for sure like you want to go for fourth to a certain degree. You don't want to quote unquote turtle. But how much are you willing to give up to take fourth of your assets that keep you solid on third?
Yeah, exactly. I think from Syndicate's standpoint, I think you're waiting as a commander. I think you're kind of waiting for a breakthrough to happen naturally, and waiting for your tank crews to just maybe get an advantage here, get an advantage there, mock out one heavy, maybe two, and not necessarily force them to push, but once again, just see what happens naturally throughout the course of the game.
Yeah, I mean, I also think it's pretty dependent on like map control and infantry, right? Like, there's a lot of places tanks can't play, right? Because if it's too tight corners, a lot of shot blockers, infantry can worm their way around, get satchels on, right? So the tankers are kind of afraid, unless they're like in an open field sometimes. But I think Syndicate's doing a good job keeping their tanks up. I would like to see some maybe movement onto these roads, because it looks like FOC is really trying to push out of Gardens right now. I think Syndicate was at Gardens at one point, so FOC's making some ground here. Is that a Peace Strike miss?
Was a Peace Strike miss? Just barely.
No surprise. Abilities hard to use.
Looks like Syndicate or FOC has gained back Gardens. Now they're going to be pushing up the hockey sticks.
They're gonna need a tank though, so I don't know how they're gonna because where are the Syndicate tanks? Are they still in the 5-point area?
So
I know they've moved.
This one might have gone back for ammo or something. We got the one map edge. We have one at dugout here. And they must have lost one because there's only 3 Tigers and a medium now.
Maybe they lost 2 of them because they seem to be down in fuel, possibly.
Unless he converted, but I don't think they would have lost 600 since we last.
What is that middle HQ there? That little blue.
Greyhound.
Okay.
Or sorry, Puma.
They definitely lost one. Looks like we have a Craven Commander red zone going up here. Same spot as last time. See how this
taking his Jeep on a road trip over here.
Surprised that supply drop wasn't called out in the FOC command chat.
I think it was a long time ago. I remember seeing it a long time ago. Certainly could have been called out a long time ago too, but even if it was, it's been forgotten now.
They are hard to find in the wheat fields, though, I will say. Searching them seems fruitless sometimes.
We have a 76 still over here by cattle sheds. We have this guy on the north side of Gardens. And we got one at the kind of double buildings there.
Yeah, it looks like FOC has pretty much regained the map control they lost over Gardens and Mid and Cattle. So slowly but surely, they're getting in position to be.
Yeah, the infantry grind is definitely real this game. A lot of key areas still being fought over, like quote-unquote carrot farm here. There's a lot of open fields in this part of the map. I mean, it is very difficult to push through. That's why people tend to like focus on gardens. There's a lot of hedges and trenches to use. Over here near the carrot farm, a lot of open ground, a lot of wheat fields, some brutal fighting.
Yeah, it looks like actually FOC has made some progress here, for sure. Not just gardens, but yeah, you mentioned carrot farm and everything. So we're starting to see some action around the AA hardpoint for the first time in a little while.
But it looks like Syndicate has, what was that down there? A tiger right there to the left?
Yeah, there's a tiger here, and I think this is a Panzer IV. So they still have some big assets here that FOC's going to have to deal with. Their 76 is now north side of gardens.
Yeah, it looks like FOC is now fighting over hockey sticks right there. They got half of it, and Syndicate's in the other half.
But yeah, FOC pushing into dugout west side. Looks like this is the farthest they've been in the past, like, I don't know, 20 minutes.
Yeah, really just in the last 5 minutes, I feel like, since we were over here last, they've made a lot of progress in clearing out gardens, the area north of dugout. Map edge, I mean, you can see this tiger's like in get the fuck out of here mode now, so it seems like even though this garrison is still up, they might not feel as safe there and decide they need to reposition. Yeah, good gains for FOC just in the last few minutes. But not really any reason to be any reason for an alarm for Syndicate. They just got to keep playing, I think, disciplined.
Yeah, exactly. They can't panic. They just got to maintain their Gary network, OP network, and just armor play conservatively for right now.
Yeah, but it looks like FOC is trying to make the moves to the key areas, right? They're trying to work their way in from the outside. Looks like they're getting control on Pierre's farm. They're working their way in. Also taking dugout. They're working their way in. Squeeze Syndicate into AA. And then probably go for a tank push maybe at that time.
Yeah, Wix, what do you think as far as FOC's tank push on AA? Do they push just straight up at the carrot farm, or where do you think they would probably have the best chance of getting through there?
I mean, you got to see where their tigers are at, because what they're going to try to do is push in a place that the tigers can't necessarily get them easily. I mean, that's what we saw them do against us, basically. When we were playing them on dugout, they were allies as well. And you know, we had a couple tanks up at the time at the end of the game, and they just were pushing in places that they knew weren't going to be able to get easy angles, and it forces our tanks to move, which gets us out of our good places and puts us vulnerable. So that could be this east side. Yeah, we're starting to see progress, and there is a front side airhead. So this is a FOC airhead.
Oh man!
Man, look at this.
This is not looking good at the moment here. Yeah.
Whoa! FOC just crashed on the east side here.
This happened so fast.
I mean, compare this to the state of the map we just seen 10 minutes ago, no less.
Yeah, I just want to pull up the Syndicate version of the map real quick too, and we'll get to the hardpoint action. You see a lot of people coming from the south for the reflank. I don't.
That airhead is going to get a spawn off here. This is extremely bad for Syndicate.
And the Tigers are rushing back. The Tigers are rushing back to the point.
Yeah, I want to see some 76 moving in here to help put some weight in.
Looks like
it does look like Syndicate is.
Down.
Oh, that's
at least one of them. Oh, okay. There's still one. Sorry, because there's so many dead ones there. But
Syndicate is pushing back in from the east.
Yeah, they do have a good reflank coming from the south and the east, and obviously the west. They have the garrison, but this airhead, which might be called out, that might be what this attack mark is. The airhead actually looks like it's being destroyed. Oh, sorry. It's right here.
Oh, there it is.
So the attack mark looks like it's trying to be on the airhead. It's a little bit long, but still, well, we just saw it.
I mean, with this push, I mean, Syndicate has just completely given up their front door, and they're just running across the open fields into it. You've got no guys at 5 points. I think this is going to go to FOC here.
Ooh. This could be a close one. Oh my gosh.
Oh,
Tanks in the hard point might be something they need to look at right now. As we see 3
the
tigers
airhead
sitting around
spawn.
here.
Yep, the airhead spawn just brings it back.
Oh my goodness.
Do we have a reinforce down?
They do, yep.
Reinforces down.
Yeah,
It's not going to be
Yeah,
enough.
this
That
is gone.
airhead. If
Oh,
not for
bombing
that
run.
airhead,
Huge
they're
bombing
getting it back.
run.
They're getting it
Oh.
huge play by Craven. Huge play by Craven.
Wow.
Yeah, huge.
he got the airhead. He got a huge portion of the spawn. This looks really good now. I was just going to say, if not for that airhead, I think Syndicate would have been fine. But that airhead came down really early, too, in the cap. So it was really good awareness by Yamamoto to drop it so early. And it was so close.
Yeah, that's just going down to a couple key gunfights going, Syndicate's way. They stalled the cap, allowed the bombing run to come in, cleared the airhead. Good defense by Syndicate.
Let's take a look at the map real quick. See how much map control. Yeah, wow.
All of it.
Wow.
How much map control did they lose? All of it.
Yeah, they've had to sacrifice almost all of their map control just to defend this point. And
It's still not even
then,
secure. I mean, look at
still, yeah,
look at the
huge
hard
presence
point here.
still.
This tank is extremely vulnerable. It's getting satcheled by 2 people. Derethima might have gotten them. I don't know if he just made a huge play to get both satchelers. It looks like he did. Tank Commander Chad play right there to just clear out 2 of them.
Maybe they put it in between the tracks, possibly. I mean, let's keep an eye on this
I don't
tiger.
see the sparks even. It's tough with the highlight on, I know, but
Yeah.
and he's in a bush. So I'm not going to spend too much time. Either he's satcheled or he's not.
That
We've
might
seen-
not have led to a cap, but it did allow FOC to really get their claws back into AA.
Well, we do see cap progress on Breakcore now, actually. But that's just one person. Myth is back there.
I mean, that one person is still capping Breakcore, though.
Yeah, I wonder if they're gonna load that OP up. Can you see if he put this OP up?
He's
Are
got
you
an OP
sure
up
that-
in the
Oh,
airport.
yeah, yeah.
They're
Got
gonna
no
flood that.
garrisons anywhere near there. I mean, this could be the way that they do the exact the reverse back to FOC, right? He just died, but if they can get that enough people on that OP to cause the cap, they could bring FOC back and kind of do the same thing. But as of right now, man, that's how fast it can go, I guess, sometimes. I don't know if that was planned by FOC that way exactly, or if kind of just the window opened and they happened to be standing there. But my goodness, that went from really good to really bad really fast.
Yeah, I mean, that's just classic FOC there, no?
Yeah, they
Yeah.
had that one SL. I think it was one SL or maybe 2 SL slip through on the east side and win those few key gunfights. And
So I think one of the keys to this too is they did lose 176 that was over here, but they do have 2 up, so that's not bad. Obviously, you don't want to lose tanks, but it's not like they lost all of their heavy tank assets in that push, and they still probably have 1 more on the map somewhere else. So, 23 minutes, they probably have some already on their way up here. So, just thinking about what they're going to do at the end of this when they push. But so they kind of went, I wouldn't say all in on that, but they went close to all in on that cap, and they were able to survive without losing all their big assets.
So, want to get your guys' thoughts on that, right? Because that was almost a cap. I mean, would it have been worth it for FOC to drive their tanks into hard cap? I mean, like that's possibly lose 1 or all 3 potentially 76s. I mean, is that worth getting a cap on midpoint?
Honestly, I think they did a good job of not doing that because Syndicate probably could have recapped it, I would say, because they were in a good position to. Still had decent control of 5-way. They had a lot of guys pushing in from the east and from the south side as well, so I think it was definitely the safer play to keep tanks alive. I mean, there's 20 minutes left, so I don't think they should be wasted this early on.
Let's take a look at Breakcore because it did hit 50% capped almost here. I don't know that this is a serious threat, but it's at least pulling some FOC players back here as the outpost went down. So a little bit of a cheeky play.
There is a garrison up, actually, if you look at the map again. It right there.
Yeah, so I think this was just kind of
Interesting
rush
spot.
play by Craven to get a garrison up to support that push just in case they were able to maintain some progress, but I don't know that they're going to really get an easy one like that. We're starting to see cap progress back on AA now. Just a little sliver right now, but let's look at what we got. Looks like FOC has 5 points control. There's really nobody in the... I don't think this is a big deal. There's just because there's nobody in the hard point, really.
I'm looking at Forever here on the edge of this wheat field. He's able to crawl through this this wheat field here on the map edge over here, or the sector edge. Get an OP up. That could really allow some pressure in.
Yeah, I just want to do a check on the Gary network here. They have semi-standard, kind of one to the west, one to the east, and then a couple a little bit further back here for AA network. That's pretty close to standard. If you can get around and get that Gary down, that could be a big play.
Yeah, because I think that was one of the things that led to the almost cap. They took out their Overlook Gary in between AA and SMDM. Now that's back up. It's pretty hard to push in from this east side when that position's still held by Axis.
Yeah, we do see the cap coming in a little bit. You'll see that sometimes if there's really nobody on the hard point, because then you're just looking at all the people that are in the soft cap, and you know that could be weighted a little more one way or another. As we see Syndicate get back in the hard cap, those people that count for triple are pushing it back in their favor. So let's do a quick pull up the map again. Just a quick check. We got the 2 Tigers south of AA. It looks like that's it.
There's been some tank losses on both sides.
There is, and this was the... It looks like they did get the satchel, but this was the crew who we saw maybe get satchel, maybe not. We really didn't stick with them, but they would have died a lot longer ago than that if that satchel that we watched had gone down. So 2 Tigers up, and I think there's still 2 76s lingering. Yeah, there's one right here. Oh, there's 3 actually now. And they're moving pretty aggressive positions here. The 376s here. Left, right, and center.
Yeah, there's still time for FOC to orchestrate another attack. I mean, they're going to try to get some pressure in from the flanks. Maybe wait for their airhead bombing run cooldowns to come back up and make another play. There's still time left in this game for FOC.
Yeah, for sure. I think I can't stop thinking about that bombing run by Craven. He's it was unbelievably clutch getting over that area and wiping out that entire attack. Because they were probably 1 or 2 seconds away from capping the point.
Yeah, that was... you see a lot of times from when you watch matches overhead in admin cam for streamers, if you see that bombing runs are not usually super effective. You know, not so much as you'd think. Just
yeah,
because like people are moving, right? Like, and I think if you're not getting a spawn with it, you know, maybe it's not even worth the munitions or whatever. But for sure, that's kind of the reason you don't just want to use it just to get some kills, right? Like, you don't use it for anything. You save it in your pocket because we saw how that bombing run saved him the point. There's just no other way to put it, right? So if he had called that bombing run on some 10 minutes, he doesn't have that option, right? So I think that's kind of an important just thing to think about for people that are interested in commanding and everything, is it's not just, you know, hey, can I get some kills with this? But now you don't have it for 10 minutes. And as much as, you know, we see, like I was saying, where bombing runs aren't as effective, they still can be dead.
Tiger's damaged.
He's damaged. The 76 kept moving.
He's asking for some rep stations.
I got them one up. They just need some supplies. Looks like Kill Switch is going to come build it.
Oh.
Died of artillery, actually.
Brutal. That's good. It's good arty. That's a good tactic, using arty, putting pressure on these tanks. Once you get one hit in the tank, they're going to be trying to rep, or get behind a rep station. Putting arty on damaged tanks is a solid strat if you don't have a juicy soft target.
Got a real interesting kind of setup here where that Tiger up there at the intersection, if he takes a shot from this Tiger, he might back up for cover, and this guy right is waiting for him. So we could see a real interesting play there if they're able to work that out. I don't know if that's deliberate, but they're certainly in position where if they can force that Tiger to back up, he'll back up right into the view of this tank. And what is it with FOC and having the gunner as tank commander? It's kind of strange.
Do you prefer the driver?
I think it can work both ways, driver or spotter. What is going on here? Are they switching tanks?
Chinese fire drill.
Yeah, I don't know if that was an ammo thing or what. But a spotter or driver for sure, I think are the more common ones. I think either can work. But gunner, man, I don't know. That's just kind of a strange one because you really have you can't see, and you can't see anything, and you can't control anything. I mean, obviously you control the gun, but I mean you can't control the movement. So the rationale for driving is, hey, I control where the tank goes, so I don't have to tell somebody, where to go, right? I'm the decider. I just go where I want to go. And then as spotter, it's obviously because you can see everything. You have the most information. But as the gunner, you don't have either of those. So it's just kind of like you get this tunnel vision view and no ability to really micro the movement of the tank. It's just, I don't know, to me it's kind of silly, but there must be something there that they like.
This is one of the reasons I just love Comp HL. Just it's just a chess match between two teams, and there's 98 players making decisions. So it's very entertaining to see how these two teams play out the last 14 minutes.
Trusty potato, I think. Shoot him right in the back.
Oh.
Oh, he non-pen. The 70s. I'm kidding. No.
Hopefully that's communicated through the command chat. Letting
He's
us
one hit.
know.
Push him. 76 is pushing him, actually. This Tiger is... Oh, he shot the turret! Drive another 10 feet and shoot the hull. They're going to kill him regardless, it looks like, unless they blow the shot. There we go.
Nice. That's a good play by the AT player, really, causing that Tiger to get confused, turn around, get frustrated.
Yeah. The difference there, though, that I was highlighting is one shot from AT in the back of the Tiger plus a hull shot by the 76 is a kill. The 76 elected to go for the turret shot, though, which was not a kill when comboed with the rocket shot in the back. So, obviously, but
a little bit overeager from the gunner.
Yeah, I mean, I think they probably could have, they could have got him in one shot if they just waited a little bit, but worked out anyway. We see that had to have been an ammo trade, right? And then 176 is going back. A lot of 76s on the front door. 12 minutes left.
A lot of Syndicate in the back line. They're behind FOC.
Yeah, Syndicate is.
Good point. Let me back out so we can take a look at this.
That could slow down this FOC push.
Poor guy.
He's just slashing HE. Doing his job.
Take a look at the map real quick. Breakcore battery completely neglected. I think Syndicate has just kind of ultimately decided that that's not going to happen in the next 12 minutes. A lot of concentration on hard cap in the area around it. See a big bulk of infantry. Not a ton of OPs, honestly. I feel like with the number of sorry, my map froze. With the number of people in this area, you'd see more OPs, but not too many there.
I think.
Okay.
I was just say I think Syndicate really getting the map control under over FOC. FOC might be tunnel visioning a little bit too hard here on just front door active sector. And you really need like the hill west of AA and a little bit of control to the east. Syndicate's really locking in here, trying to shut them out. Maybe
LA supply drop right there? Going down to the...
Yeah, it is. I'm not sure if that's just a bluff or something to give Craven something to do.
Yeah. Those defense players, they love tracking down some supply drops. It's great. It's a great feeling when you find one.
Can we do a quick map check, quick? See how many Tigers Syndicate has?
Yeah, looks like they did lose the one right here we just saw. They have the one on the south side and one driving up, and that's it. And you saw in the chat, Scotland was saying AT guns, which looks like they have one up at Warner Brothers. And that's it.
Is that a Tiger or is that a Panzer IV on A? Okay, that is a Tiger.
It looks like, to me, that Syndicate is elected. I don't know if it's on purpose or they just lost it, but they've got no map control. They're just all stacking on top of the hard cap. I think this is extremely bad for Syndicate.
Yeah, this is the thing we talked about, right? How FOC just manages to squeeze you in, and all those backline OPs that Syndicate had were wiped. So now FOC can totally focus on attacking the strong players. 9.5 minutes ago.
Yeah, I think we're going to see some serious shit here. That's a good play. The Tiger killing in one of the 76s. And the precision strike missing another Tiger. Looks like it damaged him but didn't kill him. That was an interesting 10 seconds where Syndicate killed 76 and almost lost a Tiger of their own. Syndicate still has the tank advantage here, though, because I believe there's 3 76s in the area still, or potentially one being driven up with fresh ammo, which might be this one waiting for another crewman. So 2 Tigers, 2 76s that I see currently now with that one dying. That's an unfortunate timing because now with 8 minutes left, it takes all of 8 minutes. Not all of 8 minutes, but a lot of that 8 minutes just to bring another heavy tank up. So that's
yeah, I think after
kind of a
that
tough
76 being destroyed, Syndicate is in a much better position.
Yeah. And it looks like there was a big push on 5 ways. It looks like they've, they at least haven't given it up. I wouldn't say that it's completely dead, but they're going to be fighting over 5 ways for the last 8 minutes here, but Craven's calling for a light tank to dive 5 points, just to try to clear up some spawns and take some pressure off, I imagine.
Good comms from the commander, trying to communicate some strategies to use in these last couple minutes that could really make a difference on that key area of the map.
Okay, the 76 is moving up the road. This is where I was saying earlier that I thought would be an avenue where they would try to push up because it does offer a lot of cover from where the Tigers are likely to be really, really close to the hard point on this road before any of the Tigers will see you. So no surprise there. There's one still on the hill, another one coming up back by Gardens here now with a full crew in it. And just slide back real quick. Is this a medium? 2-person medium getting ready.
I don't think that's going to get up in time, though.
Medium should be able to. It's probably 3 minutes away.
Yep, we got a couple cooldowns, probably either off cooldown or almost off cooldown for FOC, airhead bombing run, so they're probably going to be using everything they can on this what, 3 minutes to probably start push.
Airhead plane.
There it is.
Oh yeah, there is.
Yeah.
It is a FOC airhead. It looks like it's dropping right near the trench on front door.
Smoke eye going out as well, yeah.
Middle of the open.
I
Hey.
think that airhead is gonna go. I don't think that's gonna stand.
I mean, there's
Bring enough smoke. Anything's
only
possible.
one person southbound. I don't know how to say that. Alphabound is in the area. Monarch might see it. Should at least be called out, I imagine.
No bombing run.
Yeah, it is called out, and they do have a good mark.
Oh, there it
on
is. There it is. Bomber in the back.
Monarch. Let's see what kind of frag game she has. Oh, and she dropped it in there to about. Well, tank got it anyway, but her grenade was about 6 inches away. That's a good toss. Cap progress coming in. Not anymore.
Decent bombing run from FOC, but it just wasn't enough.
Are the garrisons still up?
Garrison at 5 points is down. The Garrison Southeast is the only one that up.
Tiger just went down.
Good boy.
Ooh. What took that out?
I think if we pay attention to the Sun SVK guy coming
That
up
is
the back, by the way.
Not something you want to see right there if you're a Tiger, and that's what happens when you do so. So the medium has arrived.
Here it comes.
Tiger pushing up the east side. 76 pushing up the east side. 276 pushing up the west side. One Tiger in play right now, along with the AT gun was taken down here. So not even an AT gun. We got Baby Bird and a Luke's diving 5 points.
I want to
This
see
is
the
what we
76
expected,
rolling.
to be honest.
Is starting to look like he's gonna be the white girl on the casting couch pretty soon.
Oh, the
Gone.
Tiger gets taken
Oh,
out.
no, it's not good.
Wow.
This is.
Oh yeah. I mean, this is.
extremely bad.
I mean, we were expecting this though, no? I mean, this is what
Yeah.
FOC do. I mean, look, they've just completely wiped everything off the map.
Yeah.
Syndicate now stuck on their own hard cap. Spawns lighting up. It's not looking good.
Let's see what
Still
they
got to
got.
reinforce.
Oh
Still got
yeah.
a reinforced
it's-
defensive airhead, maybe. I mean, if you got no time for anything else. If you're gonna do a defensive airhead, it's got to be right now.
What's the manpower situation?
One.
Yeah, not even enough for an airhead right now.
Oh, he does. He used reinforce, so yeah, not enough for airhead.
Yeah. And there's a
Yeah, I
medium
mean-
driving up. There's a Puma driving up. That's all they've got right now. So we'll see.
I mean, we've
They're
seen this
hanging in
last
there.
week.
They are hanging in there so far. These tanks maybe need to uphold because I think it's going to come down to this area right here. Look at that spawn wave off the Garrison Southeast.
Oh my!
Spot. They are
Barely
defending
getting
though. Reinforced now.
Yep, they are defending. If this Garrison goes down, I think that's it. Forever is getting very close to this Garrison. It looks like Artie is camping that Garrison also. So they were lucky to get that big spawn wave off. Hopefully there's
Syndicate.
OPs going down.
Syndicate bomber
Reinforce is
run.
halfway through.
That bombing run is just not very good though. It
Hit
is
the
going
tanks.
over the tanks, but I mean, this is what we've seen last week against TL and the week before that against Cerberus. And just Cerberus obviously losing the point in the last 10 minutes, and then TL managing to hold it just barely.
Yeah, it's gonna be really key for this FOC already to lock down these spawn points.
I mean, FOC is coming in from the east though, and that is where the Syndicate garrison is.
I'm just going to keep checking on that Garrison. The Garrison is still up. I don't know if these tanks are in the hard cap or not. They should be. That could
don't
be the
think they
difference
are.
right now.
Is
I don't
that
think they are
reinforced
either.
still up, Wix?
Reinforce should be going until about 2 minutes left.
I mean, it's not a good sight to see though if they're still capping with that reinforced.
Yeah, because it looks like Syndicate still has hard point control.
Huge spawn wave again.
That
I mean,
causes
this
them to
is
start
desperation.
defending.
Yeah.
This is going to be close right up until the end.
This is crazy.
This is exactly what you wanted to see from in the last couple minutes of an HL match. Just pure chaos.
Yeah.
I'll say though, like real disappointing for FOC if they end the game without capping this point with these 276s still alive. He's taking a hit now from a Panzer IV. The 76 might go down to this Panzer IV. And in fact, it does. That's a huge play.
Wow.
And we're getting into territory where Syndicate might have decapped enough now.
I think it's that. I mean, well done to Syndicate here. I think it's safe to say that they have taken this match. But wow, I am impressed.
Yeah, and that is the other 76 goes down to it looked like an AT rocket. So there you go. Syndicate hangs on. My goodness.
Syndicate hangs on twice. Twice they barely hung on.
I wasn't worried at all, actually. I think you're right.
Wow, bravo to Syndicate. Hanging on by a thread there.
Yeah, and let's give a shout out to FOC really making some plays happen. It's not easy being 2-3 down in HLL. I think having three mid cap up on your opponent is really gives you a huge advantage. Them putting that much amount of pressure onto AA network really was impressive.
Yeah, FOC, I mean, maybe more than any other team, like, I think for sure, we're going to see FOC go home, so it's fair to say there are better teams in Hell Let Loose right now than FOC, but man, there might not be a team that is more scary when you're up 3-2 and there's less than 10 minutes left. They just seem to have the formula. They know what play to call. They know how to do it to really squeeze the last opportunity out of the game. And we saw it again today. They came up short again. It's unfortunate because they're a fun team to watch, but man, Syndicate with basically no tanks at the end there held on.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, I definitely think Syndicate deserved the win here. They just played better throughout the entire 90 minutes. It is sad to see FOC go because they are very entertaining to watch every single match they play. But yeah.
Just scrolling through and looking at the final stats here.
Got some big FOC scores on their tankers. Damn, Wix. 385. Okay, man.
Yeah, we get it, Wix. You're good.
No, I'm not good. I just play a lot.
He's got that crewman maxed out years ago.
Everything but auto rifleman, medic, and machine gunner, I think. So, I mean, what do you guys think? Any final thoughts on the game there, on what we just witnessed? We'll just go one at a time through TT. I mean, final thoughts. What is your kind of summary there? What we just saw.
I mean, I think it was just what we've seen in the past 2 matches we've seen FOC play, where they just end up losing map control. I mean, we've seen it against Cerberus, we've seen it against TL. They lose map control, but always within the last 15, maybe 20 minutes, they managed to bring it back extremely quickly. I mean, there was nothing that surprised me here, other than Syndicate managing to hold that cap, of course.
Smithers, what do you think? What are your final?
Yeah, I think Syndicate
or Clown, I guess.
I mean, they had a great game. I mean, it got dicey at times, and some big plays were made by the Panzer IV at the end. Craven on the first airhead, huge bombing run. Lot of big plays by everybody here on Syndicate.
Yeah, I think Syndicate did a great job of controlling their line in the gaps, right? To not let FOC slip through behind. But yeah, I mean, it looked like, as TT mentioned earlier, the map control for Syndicate was looking pretty terrible. But kudos for them for sticking through and really just hanging on and staying in there, not giving up, and really joining or really pushing themselves to get back in AA and take control back. So very, very entertaining game, though, for sure, with 2 very, very close caps by FOC.
Yeah, so I mean, I think we saw.
I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing what Syndicate has in store for us moving on into the final match in the elimination bracket? they'll be playing the winner of IR versus Cerberus, which is currently ongoing.
Yeah, they're gonna play the winner of IR
Yeah,
Cerberus.
a lot of matches today. 5 matches, I think, in total. A lot of big teams playing today.
Yeah, Syndicate's going to go on to play the winner of IR Cerberus. Sorry, I had muted myself, so I was talking a little bit over you guys. I apologize for the people watching. Yeah, so IR Cerberus is going on right now. Maybe we'll see if that's still going on. We'll rate it. Syndicate's going to go play the winner of there. Just my parting thoughts on it. I mean, I think we saw in the beginning, Syndicate got the first cap, the only cap really in the end, but the first cap off AA Network. They looked real strong. They settled into the mid game and ended up pushing towards breakcore, and then kind of the last phase of the game was the last like 25 to 30 minutes where we saw FOC just slowly marching them back until they had the two big pushes on the point that were pretty epic, to be honest, and Syndicate really holding on. I mean, just great fortitude by them. I mean, even losing all the tanks, which was for sure less than ideal, but in the end, they were able to get the job done, and it's a big credit to them and their team, and they're gonna move on and live to fight another week, and we'll see them next week against, like we said, IR or Cerberus. So there we go. Anybody else? Any final thoughts? Anything else to add before we wrap this up?
Just great game by both teams. We're very entertaining to watch, and just good luck to you guys on your match later today.
Yeah, thank you, all three of you, Smithers, TT, and Clownface, for joining us, joining me today, this morning, getting up early for some Hell Let Loose streaming. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having us.
Yep, thanks for it.
Yeah, had a great time.
All right, there we go. 3-2 Syndicate over FOC. FOC unfortunately eliminated. No more of their dramatic style endings for this tournament, but I'm sure they'll be back. 3-2 Syndicate wins. FOC eliminated. That's all I've got, guys. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Check out the other matches. Discord.gg/HLL seasonal for the lineup if you're looking for it. There's going to be matches ongoing right now, and some more starting in about 3 or 4 hours as well. So check those out, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.
Stuck in this odyssey, watching time ticking back at me. We've got lost in this galaxy, on a cloud where our hearts are free. Stuck in this odyssey, watching time